Salutations, human! Did you also watch a bunch of Chinese opera videos after seeing Yunjin and falling in love with her? Good. Now before we start, look at my new shirt, it's cute, right? Now there may be a day where I actually accurately recreate a Genshin character's outfit, but today's not the day, they're hard.
Yes, we're doing the thing again, taking stuff from the closet and unconventionally wearing them to try and pretend I know what I'm doing. So white button up, then I tucked it into the purple skirt I used for catching. Then I got this white skirt that I dismantled like 4 drawers and I still couldn't find it. Then when I asked my mom if she saw it, she opened one drawer and it was there. How do moms do that? Anyway, here's this wonky top in the matching fabric. I actually initially made it for Marie Grayson, daughter of Dick Grayson and Starfire in Earth 22, but I never finished it, but now I can use it for Yunjin. Here's a diagram of how I think I made it 2 years ago. Dance around the room, then I got this corset belt I made for Halloween Uraraka and Misa Amane, but any chunky black waist belt thing would work, and I put it on and tightened it all the way because the XX detail doesn't matter. Shove that part to the back where no one can see along with all your past mistakes and insecurities. Like the fact that there's a rip in the top I never bothered to fix. Hey, let's make the accessories! High quality photo of Yunjin. So I sketched and cut out a pattern for this shape and then I traced it onto cardboard. Then I traced and cut a smaller version of it and traced it onto cardboard again. Chop them out, then I colored the squares of the bigger piece black before gluing on the other layer. Now for her GeoVision, print out a GeoVision or sketch it out if you're one of those cool drawing people. I glued it onto cardboard, then I just chopped it out. Then I did the same thing but for that octagon layer, then one more time for the corner pieces. Glue and stack them together like you see here. I don't know, then go speedrun your Archon quest so you can go meet Yunjin. Now take both pieces and paint them gold. That is not gold, that is an overestimation of my paint mixing abilities. Now with your empty vision, you can either hold a tournament and hope the winner will activate it, or make a Geo one cause we're doing a Yunjin cosplay right now. So I got another printout of the vision and added tape to make it shiny, as the iconic Tamatawa would say, and also for protection from the tears you'll shed later while making 16 tassels, but that's a problem for later. Before gluing it in, I decided to color in the inner corner Murphy? Then I glued it in and you have a GeoVision. Now you can go build it. Now for her belt thingy, I printed it out as well. Then I refined and cut it out. Then traced it onto the cardboard. Cut out that other part and traced it onto cardboard as well. Chop them out and stack and glue them on. And also this diamond thingy. Paint it gold. I promise it will be gold later. Then I colored the inside part brown for some depth. I mean depth. Now for the tassels, I'm gonna use a different method than the one in the Hutao video because Yunjin has 60. So I cut these rectangles out of felt, then cut a bunch of thingies. You see what I'm doing here? Then I hot glued and rolled it like a sushi, except instead of failing, it actually stays. So the main lesson from this video is to use hot glue when making sushi. Glue your sushi tassels to the back of the vision and the other thing, and we're far from done. I cut long strips of red felt and kinda glued it in a formation like you see here. When you think about it, they kinda look like worms, like this one I found on my skirt one morning. 0 out of 10, did not enjoy. Once you glue them on, Oh, I cut out these diamonds out of cardboard and painted them gold. Then I made more red tassels like a while ago but longer. I took the gold diamonds and glued them back to back, then added shading with a marker. I stabbed the top and bottom ends with a needle so I could use a jump ring to attach it to the tassel, then attach it onto one of the loopy things. While we're here, I also cut more felt worms times 3 and glued them in a loop and glued the loops together to make this shape. Then I covered the center with one more tiny felt worm and it's meant to be this part of her dress. We'll put it on later. Look at that! Looks cool, right? So I glued the safety pin to the back and that's how I attached it onto the belt. Now you see Yunjin has these pink tassely things on the bottom of her dress, so let's make those. Same tassel pattern as before, just chunkier and in pink. Now, I really brought you here to tell you about my dream. So I was playing Genshin but not Genshin. It was like a weird mix of Genshin and Mario Party in aesthetic, then kinda like in Wind Race we could go up with random players, except instead of Wind Race it was Minecraft Death Run in Genshin. So anyway, I was mostly playing and then during one of the downtimes I was sitting on the floor in the corner talking with Sucrose. Then as we were talking, Sucrose held my face and got really close. Then a Pyro Abyss Mage attacked me. I'm not disappointed or anything. Anyway, during another break time, this time I was sitting at this bar place with a bowling alley something. Then Kaya came up to me, did this exact pose and asked me on a date. Then a Pyro Abyss Mage. So once you've made 6 of those tassely things, I just safety pinned each of them to my skirt while thinking about that Pyro Abyss Mage that ruined my moment with Sucrose. Now twirl a bunch, it looks sick, right? I have a friend that keeps saying sick, I think it's his fault. Then I got this old cardigan my mom gave me that gives me Ghost Hotel AU Yashiro Nane vibes, and I flipped the sleeves inwards and safety pinned in place before yoinking it onto my shoulders. I safety pinned that in place, then remember the GeoVision and the other thingy? I taped safety pins to those and pin them in place as well and dance around some more. Why? I don't know why I spent a lot of years of my life not wearing tights. Like it took me this long to realize how cool they are. Anyway, time for the part you've all been waiting for, or not, I really don't know. Her headpiece! Pom-pom time! So if you don't know how to make pom-poms, watch a tutorial. like mine. So I took yarn and wrapped it around a rectangle a heck ton of times. Once you've reached heck ton, slide it off and tie another piece of yarn in the middle like really tight, like you're trying to suffocate it. Then cut the loops apart like you see here. Then look at how cute my trash can is. I just kept cutting it until it was a pom-pom shape, then I realized it sucked because I hadn't made the pom-pom in years, so I kinda shoved all the yarn to one side and rubber banded it and cut it like that. It's fine, people will only see the front part, that's what I tell myself every time I mess something up. Make more pom-poms. To make symmetrical ones, I did this thing where I did a tie times 2 scissors. She has 9 pom-poms, so she has more pom-poms! Make 11 of the varying sizes you need and just keep haircutting them until they're the right size. Speaking of haircuts, I still haven't gotten mine. Now if you're wondering why I'm making them all white, it's because I had this giant chunky ball of white yarn, like think about as big as a brand new jumbo toilet paper roll, and I don't want it to be so chunky anymore. So anyway, it's time to dye! Woo! Remember this cup from the Shinobu video? Same as Shinobu, I got some textile paint and mix it with water to get the colored dye I want. Test the yarn before committing unless you're one of those I live life on the edge people, but my gosh, my sister can whistle like Susie Sheep. After, you can drown the pom-poms in the mixture, and if you missed any spots, just paintbrush them on. This takes a while, so watch Arcane while doing it. It takes approximately 6 hours. Arcane, not the dyeing, though it could be if you're like really inefficient, like the Knights of Favonia. Blow dry them if you're impatient. That's unplugged. I became sentimentally attached to the pink paint water, but I had to dunk it out because for some reason I couldn't find the other cup from the Shinobu video. So I basically did the same thing in blue, including drying it with an unplugged hairdryer, and ooh, pom-poms! Pom-pom purin is so cute. Anyway, for these strands at the back, they need to be longer than my hair, so I lost my measuring tape, so I measured my hair with my longest ruler, which was still too short, so after some fiddling, my final measurement is longer than this ruler. So I measured the yarn to double the length I wanted it, then looped it around a bunch so it would be chunky, then I cut the extra, then cut the chunky yarn snake in half. I secured the ends with rubber bands, then braided it all the way down, then secured the bottoms with rubber bands too. Cut it so the ends are level and dyed them too unless you were efficient and just bought yarn in the color you needed. So first I dyed them normally, then I mixed the paint water to be darker, then dunked only around half of the braid, and I don't know, messed with it to get that ombre effect. Hang your Jinx hair pieces to dry or blow dry it. Why didn't I blow dry it? And next part of the headpiece. Unless you get like really procrastinating, so you mess around in Genshin and pull in standard banner with your friend. Just like let's do it there na lang, you know. Okay, I see. We'll just wait. This is so stupid.
This is lesson last minute. Okay. Now which and standard under if you get a 5-star, this would
Imagine if I got catching. Okay.
Oh my gosh.
Actually,
Let
let's
me
go.
mark this on my map. Okay. Your last one was Beto, right?
Yeah. Okay.
I hear John whispering.
Purple. Imagine if it was a character. Oh my gosh! Cutie! Cute! Nice! I want a weapon though, please. I'm sorry, Goro, you're cute, but...
You should
Level
them
Goro.
to ascend, yeah. That's good thing we're doing ley lines today.
So I took a cereal box that was already the length I wanted the headpiece to be, like when you measure from ear to ear. So I sketched out the shape onto that, then cut it out. Kinda fold and trace it to make it symmetrical. I know it would be neater to make a pattern first, but I'm tired. Now, it's time to spend an embarrassing amount of time trying to mix purple because I used to have this big jar of purple paint, but I used it all up, so now I'm stuck mixing red and blue to get brown. Oh, it's not that bad, I guess. I let it dry in a giant plastic jar so it would dry in a curve shape. Don't forget to paint the back too. Then I took the giant cardboard piece and traced it onto black felt, then measured and sketched an outline on the inside before cutting that out, but reserved that inside piece. I used it to do a bad job of sketching, then do a slightly better job at sketching the loopy design here before cutting it out. Now take your cardboard and the felt outline and glue it on, and cut off the extra and marker your imperfections away, and then take that scallop middle piece and glue it on as well. Listen, the socket was too far away from this part of the table, so like just imagine there's a glue gun here. So anyway, I sketched a pattern of another loopy thing before cutting it out of white paper. I added detail with a purple colored pencil and glued it in like that. Next, I'm making these diamond and gold thingies, so I made patterns for all the pieces and traced and cut them out of cardboard, and I don't know where the painting footage went, but they're gold now. I used a marker to add extra detail because I like to make myself suffer, then I glued it on while watching Demon Slayer Season 2. Spoiler warning, but do you want me to make a video for Nezuko's powered form? I probably will anyway. Then for her outline thingy, I looked through my ribbon hoard and all I could find enough of was this, so that's what we're using, I guess. I took one of these pieces and marked the spot, then started gluing the ribbon on. I don't know how to describe, just watch. Anyway, the Season 2 opening slaps, and my gosh, the 3 wives in their animated form, I love it. Also, Uzui, he's like my second favorite pillar. I think. I then glued on the gold pieces over those parts and we're still not done. It's the return of the felt worm, so I made these gold horseshoe pieces and basically glued and looped the felt pieces into this formation on the back. Then after, cut off the extra. As you can see, I cut felt triangles and used jump rings to attach them to the shoe horse, then glued it on. I also cut red felt in the shape of my tears from how long this headpiece is taking, then I gave it a piercing so I could jump ring another tassel which is the same as a while ago but in beige felt. Anyway, look, it's looking cool. I took my smallest blue pom-poms and glued them on, and she has more pom-poms I forgot to make. I am a slave to Yunchin's pom-poms, made 2 tiny white ones and stuck them on as well. And wow, it looks so good! Hey Yunchin. Anyway, more pom-pom time. Just hot glue them in while thinking about all the messages you still haven't replied to. I cut off some more extra yarn from that botched pom-pom and look at that! For attaching, I decided to cut stretchy fabric that's actually for a Mia hoodie, hehe, for shadowing. And I basically used those as ribbon to glue into the headpiece so I could tie it around my head later. Oh hey, remember these braid thingies? So I made more tiny red tassels and glued them to the top, then cut a really thin worm and wrapped and glued it around that, and that's the last of the 16 tassels. So there's like a movie 16 Candles, right? I want a movie 16 tassels. I don't know what it's gonna be about, but 16 Candles sounds like a birthday age movie type thing, and I only have a few more weeks left of being 16, so 16 tassels, please hurry. After that, I made beige versions of these loopy things and glued them on before wrapping on one more felt worm around them on the ends. I glued them to the back area of the headpiece and it's done! In the end, I'm actually thankful to whichever mihoyo designer made this because when I look at actual Chinese opera headpieces, you know, making this isn't actually that bad. I know I said the Hu Tao hat was my magnum opus, but I also said I would make multiple magnum opuses, so here. Now, if you're starting to feel a bit unmotivated to continue the cosplay, play Yunchin's hangout. It's so cute. She was my first hangout. Heart go boom boom. Gonna do Tama after I finish this video.
What do you mean I've been obsessing over Jinx since I watched Arcane?
So now we're gonna do her hair, so I unbraided mine and look at that, I forgot to put on that thingy. Once it was on, for the first time, I used a hair straightener to straighten my hair. And I realized it was the worst possible day to decide to braid my hair. Wow, look how straight it is! The hair. I did the bangs thing I've been doing for the past 2 videos and I was still high on love for Yunchin, so I ended up cutting it as well to straighten them out. After the hair, I then took the beloved headpiece and put it back down. I tied my hair first, then tied the headpiece on, then untied my hair after, then had a crisis on whether I liked how it looked or not. In the end, I decided I liked it because that would be better for my sanity. And Yunchin is done! And gosh, hecking darn, it's shorter than my hair. I know I'm not the only one who somehow got an unexplainable attachment to Yunchin simply from her design. I'm not even a Yunchin haver yet, but I plan to pick her during the lantern rite, and I didn't even have that much fun with her playstyle during the trial, but she's Yunchin. Also, I like how a bunch of people started watching Chinese opera videos because of her, including me. Like, I've never listened to Chinese opera and I'm Chinese, and like, it's actually fun. Okay, headpiece appreciation time! Anyway, that's it for Yunchin, my beloved. Even her dish is pretty, my gosh. Anyway, I have to go now. I have like 50 unread messages I have to reply to.
And farewell, humans. Please hope I get Ganyu. Oh my gosh, I'm sweaty.